Tell me about writing the title song. I know there's a story or a number of stories that go with how the man comes around.
The man comes around. The idea originally came from a dream. Started as a dream I had. About 7 years ago, I dreamed that I was in Nottingham, England, and I'd gotten a book called Dreaming of the Queen. And I lost the book the next day. I don't know what happened to it. But this book kind of points out that the majority of adult Brits, at one time or another, dream of the Queen. And I thought that was strange because I dream of celebrities myself. I dream of the presidents I've known. I dream of them and that I'm having conversations with them. And I dream of that I'm with Billy Graham because we spent so much time together. And I'm having conversations with him that I never had before. One night in Nottingham, England, I dreamed that I was in Buckingham Palace, and sitting on the floor was Queen Elizabeth and a friend of hers with a knitting basket between them, sitting there knitting. And they were laughing and talking, and I walked up, and they looked up at me, and Queen Elizabeth looked at me and said, "Johnny Cash, you're just like a thorn tree in a hurricane, or in a whirlwind. You're just like a thorn tree in a whirlwind." And I started to say something, but I woke up, and that was the end of the dream. So I couldn't figure out what this dream had to have meaning, but I couldn't figure out what it meant. You're like a thorn tree in a whirlwind. I couldn't find no connection to anything in my life that worked, that made sense. But then finally, after a couple of years, I thought I read something in the book of Job, and I saw the word whirlwind. And then I looked up in the chain reference system in the concordance, in the commentary, and whirlwind is synonymous with God. And then thorn tree is synonymous with man and his obstinacy and his arrogance. And then I started putting it all together. Standing like a thorn tree in a whirlwind, arrogant, shaking my fist at God. Is that what Queen Elizabeth was trying to tell me that I was doing? So I thought, that's got to be it. That's got to be it. But I couldn't get that off my name. I couldn't call the Queen and ask her if I was right, because she didn't have a dream like that. Wish I could have. But anyway, I couldn't get it off my mind, and I started writing. And I started writing things about whirlwinds and thorn trees and the putting of the two of them together and the two of them fighting against each other, and threw those lyrics away. Then wrote more and more and more. And then I came to the ultimate test of man and his obstinacy. And that would be the Judgment Day. And the question of redemption. And I went to the book of Revelation in the Bible, and I started studying Revelation. And the more I studied, the more confused I got, and the more I realized that I didn't know. The more I knew I didn't know anything. It's about the way it is with me in the Bible. But I did find out a lot of things that I wanted to know about the second coming, as it is prophesied in the book of Revelation, and of Jesus Christ return to earth, and the Judgment Day. And I closed the Bible one morning, and I said, well, the man comes around. I said it aloud to nobody in the room. It was about 5:30 in the morning. I'll never forget it. I wrote down, the man comes around, and got up and went and got some coffee and forgot it for the day. Next morning, I came back to that, and there was those 4 words. And so I started writing. And I wrote and I wrote and I wrote. And of the reams of writing and lyrics that I wrote, dozens of verses, I finally saw a song forming. I didn't think it was going to be a song for a long time. I thought it was just going to be one of my weird poems, but I saw a song forming. And so I started putting it together as a song. And at a certain point, I picked up the guitar and started trying to sing it to see how it felt. It felt good, so I kept working on it until I felt like I had my song.